We're back in Cyrodiil and we're here to cause even more havoc than before. Being a vampire hasn't gotten any easier, we can assure you of that. The amount of sanguinophobes we've encountered in this apparently educated part of Tamriel has been absolutely shocking. But with our victory over Mehrunes Dagon secured and our legend as the hero of Kvatch firmly etched into the pages of history, will the people, or more specifically, the guilds of Cyrodiil, be more welcoming of a blood drinker such as Test? Welcome to Completing Oblivion as a Vampire Part 2, Part 1. Guilds. Namely the Dark Brotherhood and the rest of the arena. Have fun. We'll start with the arena, seeing it's the one guild questline we've progressed furthest along.
You're not wearing your battle raiment.
Oh yeah, our raiment. Dragon armor would give us an unfair advantage, I suppose, though we do look stunning in it.
You alright? You haven't taken too many blows to the head, have you?
Owen's being surprisingly polite about our little clothing faux pas. There's a surprise. We'll leave our incredibly rare, custom-made, very expensive dragon armor in the corner here. Hopefully nobody nicks it. Oh, we're a hell of a lot shorter without it on. As it's too late to fight right now, we'll have a nap and then speak to the Grand Champion of the arena, the Grey Prince, who asks a favor of us.
If I could prove who I really am and show the world that an orc can be noble in blood as well as deed, maybe, yes, you could help me.
Turns out our pale friend is only half orc, and he asks us to find the proof that he is the son of Lord Leviticus, having been denied his noble birthright for so long. We'll probably come back to that. On to our next bout in the arena. This time it's 3 Argonian prisoners. I do love those scaly people. We deploy our usual tactic to avoid taking sun damage, accepting the fight during the day, sleeping as late as we can, and then it's safe to go outside again. The audience are booing us. I think this is the standard reception we can expect at this point. Things are getting a little tough, so we'd better swallow a few. Oh shit, we never went to buy any potions. Ah, fuck it, we don't need potions. A few spells, a few slashes, and boom, 3 dead lizards. Not bad for a vampire who's only level 4 with 119 HP. We'll wash up, head to bed, and rest up for another fight.
You ain't gonna stop until you hit champion, are you?
You're damn right we want another fight, Owen. We've got plenty of other shit to do today.
Blue Team's gladiator is a combatant you know and love!
Oh, the arena announcer knows who we are. We are getting popular. Our opponent this time is a heavily armoured Khajiit. Looks tough, but our skeleton rattles his bones at the furry fucker, and victory is ours. We get our cash and...
You showed that cat whose claws are sharper, eh? Now go wash up. You look awful.
Well, that's just bloody rude. On to the next fight.
The next one's a Breton. He looks like a bit of a dandy, but he's deadly with a blade.
A bit of a dandy? Ooh, matron. Shit, it's daylight. We'll try that again. 1, 2, 3, and that was easy enough. Owen tells us we've advanced to the rank of hero.
It's been a long time since I've said this, but congratulations, hero.
Fantastic. You know, despite saving Kvatch and the entirety of Cyrodiil, only now are we recognized as a hero.
Thing is, this guy used to be a blade. You know those guys who protect the Emperor?
We know what the blades are, Owen. We are a blade. The Emperors might be dead, but we're still on the bloody books. Shitting daylight again. We noticed that if we load a game while we're taking sun damage, you get this horrendous brightness filter over everything. Makes it look like we're seeing the world in soft focus. We return to fight in the dark. It's ex-Blade versus Blade. 2 highly skilled bodyguards of royalty, and we absolutely steamroller him. This is getting a little unfair now.
You must be blessed by the divines or something, my friend.
We must be blessed. We literally watched Martin turn into a literal avatar of a literal god. If that's not blessed, I don't know what is. Our next opponent is a wizard with a magic-proof shield.
Your best bet is to just charge straight in.
This might be an issue as our magic is our best attack. Oh, he comes straight out of the gate with a fireball, which we utterly finesse. He seems to be resisting our shock attacks pretty well too. This might be cause for concern. Or maybe not, he goes down just as well as the others. We're not too far off from reaching the rank of champion, and next up is another 3-way fight.
Your last fight against the yellow team. I guess you could say they saved the best for last. The 3 best, actually.
This time against a swordsman, an archer, and a mage. The swordsman is the yellow team champion. You remember her, right? The Nord with the attitude problem who's constantly wailing on the punch bag downstairs in the Bloodworks.
You are nothing.
Yeah, that bitch. But not to worry, we've got a teammate of our own.
I sent Porkchop the boar up to the arena to help you out.
The blue team mascot, Porkchop the boar. Still seems like they've got the better team. Well, at least we've got a snack at half-time if things go really bad. Out of the gate we go, and we're wielding Manky Cameron's staff. Let's see what this thing can do. And we're being booed again. This is pretty shit. Let's switch up our weapons, get something substantial out. Oh god, she looks happy. We well and truly slapped their asses and we have victory once again. And Porkchop survived, that's fantastic. Oh, he's eating the bodies now. Oh god.
Feed me their hearts!
Now that we've advanced to the rank of champion, Isabel will be organising our fights from here on, which means we've got to say goodbye to Owen as our manager.
My friend, it is with great honor that I advance you to the rank of champion. You've done it. You've shown them all you're the best. You're done competing in normal arena matches, but there's still the grand champion.
Oh, this is a little bit emotional, really. It's like that bit in Rocky 3 where Mickey dies except nobody's dead and this isn't boxing. Now that we're a champion, we can wear whatever we want into battle, even enchanted armour.
Now, as you know, in any standard arena match, you're forbidden from looting the corpse of a fallen opponent. Well, this ain't any standard match. In the event that you beat the Grey Prince, you're to remove his armour and present it to me.
Would have been nice if we could do that a little earlier. We've missed a bunch of cool weapons. Before we challenge the Grey Prince to a fight, we'll do his side quest.
Have you... Oh, I see. You have not yet recovered any proof of my birth.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
We hightail it to Anvil, hide in the Mage's Guild until it's night, and then make our way on horseback to Crowhaven. Oh look, there's the smouldering remains of an Oblivion gate. Oh god, this place looks ominous. In we go. Oh, the interior decor in here leaves much to be desired. Never mind a stately home, this is a home in a state. And here's Lord Leviticus. Good to meet you, sir. Oh, a bit of a violent bugger. In fact, we can't even talk to him. Alright then, to the sword we go. Christ on a bike, he looks a hell of a lot like us. Is he our dad as well? We find the now late Lord Leviticus's journal in his chambers, and we learn the dreadful truth. Lord Leviticus had a thing for muscular orc women. Truly, a man of culture. We can empathise. Oh yeah, there's this something about him being a vampire as well. This means that the Grey Prince is half vampire. That'll explain his pale complexion, and it means that old Test can sire children. There's still hope for the ugly bugger. Back to the arena again, we give the Grey Prince the journal, and here comes the xenophobia.
Wait, can this be? But, by Shinji, I'm the son of a vampire. I'm the spawn of evil. I thought my father was a noble, not some blood-sucking monster.
Do you have a problem with vampires? I mean, we're standing right here. That's just bloody inconsiderate. I thought we had something special. We challenge him to a fight, choose a new title from Isabel. I think the Tamriel Terror is quite appropriate, and head out into the arena.
Who could wrest the title from our famed Grey Prince? I give you the blue team's latest champion. Behold the Tamriel Terror!
But the Grey Prince doesn't fight back. He wants us to put him down, to end his shame of being a half-vampire.
Please, just kill me. I can't live like this, knowing I'm something filthy, something evil.
You know, being a vampire isn't all that bad. It doesn't screw your career up like it used to. But if he insists, then we'll give him a good death. An honourable death. A warrior's death. Quick and painless. Bit of this, bit of that, one of these, a drizzle of that, a good handful of this. Our skeleton doesn't want to attack him. This is all too familiar. Alright, it's been about an hour now. We are standing uncomfortably close to the remaining rock troll. He is lobbing rocks at Whisper while we summon our ghost swords every few moments to get a hit or two in before the AI gives up. Gotta feel bad for Whisper here, she's just getting clobbered. We finish with the Imperial fisting and the Grey Prince falls. We have victory. Easy enough when he's standing still and not fighting back. But we can do it normally. See? although that time our shield finished him off, so it didn't really feel like we'd earned it. With that fight over, we take the Grey Prince's armor back to Isabel, and we are named the new Grand Champion.
It is with great honor that I present to you this gold, and the esteemed raiment of valor, and name you the new Arena Grand Champion.
We get 1,000 gold and a new raiment. Very swish. Well, that was a rather depressing end to an otherwise cheery questline, and now this guy hates us. Who the hell is he?
You killed Agranak. The Grey Prince is dead. He was my friend, my mentor. Congratulations, Grand Champion. Hope it was worth it. You did it! You beat them all! You're a champion! My friend, you have brought honor to the blue team in ways I can't even describe.
Alright, where are we going next? Oh, fuck, not this creepy little shit.
Wow! You're the Grand Champion. I saw your fight against the Grey Prince. You're the best. Can I follow you around? I won't get in the way.
Okay, we'll take him with us.
I'm going to follow you and watch you and worship the ground you walk on.
Place your bets in the comments now how long you think he'll last. Winner gets £5 and a packet of crisps. And with the arena completed, it's time to move on. As we ruined the Grey Prince's life and made him so upset he refused to fight back, we've technically committed murder. Technically. I cannot stress that point enough. This has had one unexpected but nonetheless welcome side effect that dovetails nicely into the next guild questline, so let's find a place to sleep. We can't sleep in the Merchant's Inn as they don't like vampires.
No! No!
The beggars won't share their beds, the greedy homeless bastards, and we're not allowed to buy a house due to racist estate agents.
Get back, you filthy beast!
So we'll have to resort to Plan B. Frostcrag Spire. Left to us by our obviously estranged uncle who we've never heard of or met before. Frostcrag Spire is a beautifully appointed mage's tower just east of Bruma, with interior designed by Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen's wizard cousin. I don't know why we never used this place while we were doing the main quest, because this place has a little secret. In this room are these pads on the floor. These can teleport us to all the mages' guilds across Cyrodiil without having to risk getting burned by the sun. Aren't we stupid? We can't go to Kavach's Mages Guild though, obviously, probably just end up teleporting into a fire. And look at this, a spellcrafting station. We'll have to come back and muck about with that at some point. However useful this place is, the glaring issue with Frostcrag Spire is that there's no beds, so we'll have to teleport to a Mages Guild to use their facilities. Here we go, a nice, comfy bed. We'll just wrap up nice and snug for a bit and see what happens.
You sleep rather soundly for a murderer.
We are roused from our slumber at a no doubt inconvenient time, and we're faced with one of the most beloved characters in the Elder Scrolls series. So popular, they had to bring his spirit back to interrupt every important conversation in Skyrim.
My name is Lucian LeChance, and my voice is the will of the Night Mother.
Assassin and sexy man extraordinaire.
She's been watching you, observing as you kill, admiring as you end life without pity or remorse.
Technically, it was a murder, yes, but for legal reasons, I'm obliged to say that was completely fair one-on-one combat. And yes, we were sleeping soundly until the hooded, homicidal maniac with the golden voice decided to wake us up in the middle of the night. Lucian extends us an invite to join his Brotherhood of Assassins on the condition that we kill a man called Rufio who's staying at the Inn of Ill Omen.
Please, accept this token from the Dark Brotherhood. It is a virgin blade and thirst for blood. May it serve you well.
He hands us a free introductory knife and tells us to get to work. Usually we can ask Lucian about any rumours he's heard on his travels, and usually he comes out with some interesting stuff. But because we've got Knights of the Nine installed, all we get is...
Anvil is all in an uproar. First the chapel attacked, now the prophet ranting about the end of the world.
that crap. And even then, these baldy wizards managed to interrupt the end of our conversation.
And the Dark Brotherhood
You should really get to
will
a healer.
embrace you
You're looking
as
rather
family.
pale.
Oh well, off we go then, to adventure and homicide. On our way to the Inn of Ill Omen, we get rudely accosted by this bunch of highwaymen who want our valuable giblets. Let's just consult the chart a moment. Yeah, that's about a 7. Doesn't take much to get rid of these scoundrels and... Oh, Where's our adoring fan gone? Well, he lasted about 5 minutes. Whoever guessed that, there's a crisp £5 note and a packet of Monster Munch on its way to you. We finally arrive at the Inn of Ill Omen, rather apt name considering why we're here, and look, our adoring fan has returned to us. We'll be having that back, thank you. We speak to the innkeeper of this rather depressing roadside tavern, Mannheim Maulhound, and wow, your eyes are too close together. Rufio is also staying here, and old Manny seems to think that Rufio's hiding something.
Been living here for a couple of weeks now. If you ask me, he's hiding from something. But what do I care? He pays his tab.
Sounds a bit sus. We rent a room for the night, seeing as we're about to unalive his only customer, and the room is absolutely shocking. It's worse than Harry Potter's cupboard. 10 septims for this. Should have spat in his eye, probably would have caught both of them. As we head for the basement where Rufio's staying, we notice something odd about Mannheim. Can you tell what it is? He's not wearing any trousers. He's standing behind the bar, serving customers in naught but his tunic, his apron, and his shreddies. The dirty bugger. Suffice it to say, we won't be eating here. I hope he washes his hands at the very least. Sneakily, we drop down through this trap door to Rufio's basement room. Looks better than ours does at the very least. I suppose this is the Grande Suite or something. Come on then, sunshine, time to die. Any last words?
Who are you? What do you want? I ain't done nothing. No, please. I didn't mean to do it, you understand me? She struggled. I told her to just stay still, but she wouldn't listen. I had no choice.
Oh God, that's a bit grim. That's very grim. And I was thinking we were the villain in this scenario. Time to end this sicko with our free introductory knife, which sort of matches our armor. I do like a bit of color coordination. Our adoring fan is completely unfazed by the fact that he's just witnessed a brutal murder. I suppose he must be used to blood sports, hanging about the arena all day. Absolute bloody psychopath. Lucien returns and informs us that he knows the job is complete.
The deed is done. How do I know this?
Because he's standing in the room. Could that be why, Lucien? Were you just peeking through the trapdoor waiting for us to off the sod? Lucien instructs us to go to Cheydinhall, find the black door in the basement of the abandoned house, and we're in the club. With a thirst for unwarranted violence and the promise of gold for an honest day's work, we put the god's-forsaken Inn of Ill Omen behind us and... where the hell's he gone? Oh, a wolf. Get out of it. Cheydinhall is one of the nicer locales in Cyrodiil, with some beautiful, not quite Tudor because the Tudors don't exist in this world, houses. We find the one house that looks like the council owns it and... oh good, lockpicking again. Oh, that was easy. Entering the basement, we find this beautifully carved door that is completely inconspicuous and doesn't at all scream, "Here be assassins." We whisper the magic words, softly and gently, as though we were whispering sweet nothings into the ear of a stone door, and we're in. Not quite as stately as some assassin hideouts I've seen, but it'll do. We're warmly welcomed by Ochiva, a female Argonian, who sets us up with the official club uniform and directs us to Vincente Valtieri, who'll be giving us our jobs.
I welcome you to our family and this sanctuary.
Welcome, brother. So good to finally meet you.
I hope you find our sanctuary to your liking.
Welcome to the family. I'd hug you, but Ochiva told me not to.
What reason could she possibly have to tell you not to hug us? What are you gonna do? For a bunch of mass-murdering nutters, everybody in the Dark Brotherhood is incredibly polite and welcoming. Well, apart from the Khajiit. He's just a dick.
Let's get one thing straight. The tenants prevent me from killing you, but I don't have to like you.
But then he is a cat, and cats are assholes. In the deepest part of the sanctum lies the room of Vincente Valtieri, who is a fellow vampire. I think we're going to get along like a village on fire. Even though he sleeps on a stone slab with his arms folded across his chest, which is a little too cliché for my liking, Vincente's first contract for us is to take out the captain of a pirate ship that's docked in the Imperial City. A guy by the name of...
Gaston Toussaint.
A French pirate. Does his ship go in reverse? One quick trip to the Imperial City and we arrive at the docks. Now, as we're officially an assassin of the Dark Brotherhood, we want to make a good first impression. We want to do this quietly, cleanly, and quickly. And we've fallen in the water. We can deal with this. Oh, apparently just touching the pirate's ship alerts them to our presence. This is going swimmingly, no pun intended. With the help of a city guard, we dispatch the pirates on the dockside. We were meant to hide in this box and solid snake our way onto the ship, but that's out the window now, just like the Metal Gear franchise itself. Breaking into the captain's quarters, we find him asleep. Let's see if he's got anything interesting to say for himself.
You ain't one of me crew. You best start explaining yourself, mate, if you want to get off this ship alive.
Ah, you don't sound very piratey to me, me old scallywag. Avast and avat ye, lowlands away and rum and all that. One dead pirate later, we do the proper pirate thing, nicking the dead bloke's stuff. Oh look, he's got a copy of the lusty Argonian Maid. We'll definitely be taking that with us. We'll also be taking any and all gems and jewellery he's got. Time to get out of here, methinks.
Captain Custode, are you alright, sir?
Oh shit, he had backup. 2 burly sea dogs burst into the room and we just miss both of them. I mean, we missed them by a country mile. Oh my god. But it really doesn't take much to get rid of them. Let's get out of here. Oh, for God's sake, you creepy little shit! I think we're probably the worst assassin in the world at this point. That was just bloody embarrassing. Ezio would be turning in his grave. Reporting back to Vincente, whatever, he congratulates us on fulfilling the contract and rewards us with a ring.
It is a ring whose powers are quite useful to those who value discretion.
Ah, well, discretion is what we offer. Not buggering up assassinations or anything. No, discretion. Time for our second contract. Vincente wants us to go to Bruma to take out a wood elf by the name of Bainlin. The contract offers a bonus if we can make it look like an accident by dropping a wall-mounted bear's head onto the poor bugger between 8 and 11 at night when Bainlin sits in his chair. That's incredibly specific. And 3 hours sat in his chair? Bloody hell, that's an exciting evening. Oh, we've also got to avoid a big burly Nord bodyguard called Grom.
Or if the manservant Grom is killed, you will forfeit the bonus.
But this is perfect. A little bit of sneakery, we can do this at night, which is perfect for a vampire. This is easy money. In Bruma, we get burned by the sun and shouted at several times by the owner of a pub we nip into to hide from the daylight.
Are you not feeling well? You're not feeling well? Hello!
Are you not...
At nightfall, we head out into the streets. Bainlin's gaff isn't too hard to find, but the bloody door's locked. Lock-picking again? Oh, did it? Alright then. Ah, here's a slight problem. Bainlin's already in his chair, which has a perfect view of the front door, and he's just staring at us.
Grom! Grom! We have an intruder!
Oh great, here comes the big bugger. Let's get rid of him. This went to shit pretty quickly, and Bainlin's still just sat there, staring, completely unfazed that we just offed his manservant.
Huh? You're not Grom? Who are you? Why are you in my home?
Hang on, hold on, is he repeating himself?
Huh? You're not Grom? Who are you?
Oh no, he's senile. Oh, this isn't good, this is just cruel. Well, we do have a job to do. Just grab Manky Cameron's staff and... boom. One dead Bainlin. Well, that was dreadful. We can't even pretend that this has gone well. Let's just loot the place, see if there's any precious stones or jewellery lying about. A few bits of silver, not much, but it'll do. Our adoring fan looks completely nonplussed about having witnessed 3 murders now. Violent little bugger, isn't he? Vincente doesn't seem too happy that we managed to knacker the specifications of the contract up.
Bainlin is dead, yes, but you did not fulfill the contract precisely as directed.
We don't get a verbal or written warning, but we didn't get the bonus either.
Despite this misfortune, you are ready for advancement.
I've got a feeling this is going to be a recurring theme.
As always, to disappoint me.
Our next target is a dark elf by the name of Valen Dreth, who's currently being detained at His Imperial Majesty's pleasure back in the Imperial City. Prison. He's in prison. It's going to be crawling with guards, so we'll actually have to try and be a bit sneaky this time.
It should be easy enough to locate Dreth in his small cell. Besides, I think you know the way,
He's talking about us. It turns out that we know the bugger we're after. He was our neighbour across the hall when we were in the clink. Yeah, that mouthy git. Diving headlong into the sewers, we do a little pest control, taking out a few mud crabs and rats, and we do a little knot picking, which is again surprisingly easy this time around. This is a rather impressive chamber for a sewer, not exactly the kind of place you'd want to go swimming though. I imagine that isn't just water in there. Our adoring fan clearly thinks otherwise though, as he's gone in for a dip. And oh look, there's slaughterfish in there! Get the cash and crisps on standby. Bit more lockpicking that we breeze past, and we finally come across the guards that we really need to avoid. Our fan is still alive, though after taking a dip in whatever that was back there, I don't imagine we want to stand too close to him. There is a little theory that this contract was put out by one of the guards, though I can't imagine why. Valandreth's not an infuriating character to be around at all. I imagine he would have been out soon on good behaviour if we weren't here to revoke his breathing privileges.
Yeah, what a laugh, huh? Just who are we keeping secure? Dreth? Since that other one got away, he's the only one rotting down here.
And yes, we've been spotted. How wonderful. Our fan vanishes as we engage in a little bit of fisticuffs. Must say, this whole assassin thing is going really well. We're doing a really great job of fulfilling these contracts to the letter.
You will receive a bonus if you fulfill the contract without killing any of the prison guards.
Oh god. Our fan returns once again. I think his continuing survival is the only constant thing in our life right now. Making our way through the guards' quarters, we find the body of the mythic Dawn assassin who actually killed Uriel Septim. We would stay here and desecrate his corpse for a while, but he did help us get to Manky Cameron in the end. Sleep well, Bellend. These guards don't have much gold on them. Being part of the local constabulary must be a shit payer. Finally, we clamber through the very hole we escaped through and emerge into our old cell. Ah, the memories. The piss bucket, the beatings. Ah, the old days. After eavesdropping on Valandreth and one of the guards for a few moments, we make our presence known and, unfortunately, Dreth remembers us.
You're the one! The day the Emperor was killed! You lucky bastard! Let old Valen out of this cell! You've got your freedom, now give me mine! What do you say, huh? Come on, friend! What's the matter with you, huh? You some kind of mute or something? I saw you escape. Now you're crazy enough to come back? Let me out of this cell, you fetid piece of guardong!
Right, time to shut him up. We unleash our skeleton on the bugger, which finishes the job, and Dreth is done. Dead, but stuck in the bars of his cell door. Thank you, Todd. Although the job is done, we now have a rather big problem on our hands. As we're apparently the world's worst vampire assassin, that's assassin who is a vampire, not assassin who exclusively kills vampires, we gained a bit of a bounty when we had to dispatch the prison guards. Quite a substantial bounty, in fact. Oh, we cannot afford that. So we have to sneak back out of the sewers rather than just cutting back into the Imperial City. Upon our arrival back in Cheydinhall, we're spotted by one of the guards and we have to leg it back to the Dark Brotherhood's hideout. We'll be alright though, they shouldn't follow us into the house. Bollocks, they followed us into the house. Alright, into the basement then, they won't follow us down there. Die! Bollocks, they followed us into the basement. Sod this, let's just get into the sanctum. Phew, this is definitely going to complicate things from here on out. Once again, we have disappointed Vincente. You can see that downcast look in his eyes.
Why the unsanctioned bloodshed? You seem to lack discipline.
But we still avoid a bollocking and we get some cash. Only several thousand to go and we can pay off our bounty. Vincente's next job involves staging an assassination and, apparently, we're the only assassin in the Brotherhood he feels he can trust with this job.
I don't wish to offer it to any other family member. I've come to rely on your abilities.
Whether this is a very easy job and he's just trying to make us feel better, or his faith in our abilities is genuinely that misplaced, I can't tell.
We're usually called upon to take a life, but not this time.
A Breton named
Francois Mortier
wants us to stage his own death so he can escape his hefty debts to the Argonian Mafia.
He owes a considerable sum to the wrong kind of people, so they have sent an enforcer to kill him.
We need to kill Francois in front of the hitman they're sending to kill him.
You will use this specially poisoned knife to stage Mortier's death,
which will make it look like we've offed him.
This is an unusual contract. Do not kill him.
I would make a guess as to how this is going to go, but I think we're all aware of our performances so far. Back into the streets of Cheydinhall and we immediately get chased by the local fuzz. We leave the city, but we can't fast travel as the guards are coming. Coming from where? Is there some lonely guard making his way up from Anvil just to nick us? An annoying wolf decides to snack on our adoring fan, so we'll save his life. I think I'm getting rather attached to the stupid-faced bugger. Now, We have run into the first slight problem regarding our vampirism. As we can't survive in the daylight and pretty much rely on fast travel to avoid burning to a crisp, not being able to fast travel between cities due to invisible guards chasing us from random places in the open world is a bit of a big issue. And although it would be hilarious to try and do all of these assassinations while being chased by the guards from town to town, we won't get halfway to our target before we die of sunburn. So we have only one option. We have to pay off our bounty. And fortunately for us, contrary to what I said earlier, we have just enough money to pay off the guards.
You pay your fine, and we release you.
4,000 septims and the loss of all our stolen gubbins later, we're severely out of pocket, but we can walk as a free vampire once again. I think we might go see Andy Dufresne down in Zawatineho. Over in Coral, we catch a little sun and hide out in the Fighters Guild for a while.
Bayazura!
As our adoring fan makes nice with the locals.
How are you?
Fine.
Once darkness falls, we hit the streets. Francois Mautier's house is absolutely massive. No wonder he's in debt to the mob. He must have a beach house on the Jersey Shore with this kind of mafia-backed cash. We subtly break into the property and Mautier greets us with his best Uncle Albert impersonation.
I borrowed quite a bit of gold from some underworld types. I missed a payment. Now they don't even want the money. They say I insulted them. They've sent an enforcer to kill me. His name is Hides His Heart.
Just as we expected, he's in trouble with the mafia. Seems a bit of an excessive punishment for a missed payment, though. You'd think he'd get a verbal warning or a pair of broken legs before they decide to whack the guy. Mautier's plan is as follows.
When Hides His Heart gets here, I'll put on a little act.
We give Mautier the traditional London greeting with the poisoned blade. The Argonian hitman, dismayed, leaves and tells his superiors that Mautier is dead,
and Hides His Heart must not be killed.
And we go administer the antidote to Mautier in the local morgue the next day. Is everybody on the same page with that? Sounds easy. Sounds absolutely easy. This is the one we get right. This is the one.
Oh, I do hope this works.
Moments later, the assassin Hides His Heart shows up.
Mautieri, I know you're in there. My employers are most displeased. I'm coming in, and you can beg for your life.
Right on cue, he reels off his exposition, and then we get the performance of a lifetime.
Ah! What's this? Oh, Dark Brotherhood assassin, please don't cut me with that wicked blade. It looks like this is the end of poor Francois.
Give that man an Oscar. He bloody well deserves it. However, Lizard Boy isn't having any of it. He wants to rumble with us instead.
Let me show you how a real killer operates.
Before our Breton friend has a chance to get caught in the inevitable crossfire, we give him a shanking with the old Langewine blade and knock him out. Hides His Heart, however, has other plans. He doesn't want to stop fighting us. Yielding doesn't work, calming spells don't work, so we fall back to the Joestar secret technique. Hides His Heart chases us down the road, swinging his sword like a madman. In order to make an effective and clean getaway, we use Embrace of Shadows on ourselves to make us invisible, which does stop the angry hitman in his tracks. Unfortunately, the Coral Neighbourhood Watch Association have just finished their weekly meeting around the corner, and, upon seeing a lunatic Argonian chasing a hero and his trusty fan down the road, they set upon him. Within moments, the mafia-backed hitman is dead, and the good, kind and heroic people of Coral have managed to knacker the contract for us. Absolutely hilarious. Might as well just kill Mautier while we're still here. Back in Chaden Hall, we have to fess up to Vincente that we failed yet another contract. Though this time it genuinely isn't our fault. Unfazed by our protestations, Vincente tells us we're an utterly crap assassin.
By failing to fulfill this contract, you have brought shame upon us all. Leave me now. Contemplate your uselessness as a member of this family.
That hurts. That really hurts. It's because we don't wear the robes, isn't it? It's because we never turn up for work in the uniform. Sick and tired of our terrible performance, Vincente surrenders his position as our line manager and fobs us off to Achieva for future contracts.
Our time working together has come to an end. Instead, you must report to Achieva. She will be providing all your contracts from now on.
And I can't say I blame him. Clearly willing to help out a poor vampire down on his luck, Achieva gives us our first contract. Our target is a high elf by the name of Phalion, who resides in the Imperial City, and, according to Achieva, this will be a bit of a challenge.
Finding this person may prove challenging.
We'll have to do a bit of detective work for this one. All we know is his name,
Phalion.
and that he's in the Imperial City. The caveat for this contract is we need to make Phalian's death look like a simple murder. Apparently one of the captains in the City Watch doesn't like us assassins operating in his city for some ludicrous reason, and we don't want to make him upset.
Let's not give the good captain any reason to go poking around in our affairs,
I hope Achiever isn't expecting miracles from us. Our attempts to find out any information about Phalian's whereabouts are hampered by the usual mixed bag of people who aren't willing to speak to a vampire.
Get back, you filthy beast!
I'll have nothing to do with the likes of you.
No, stay away from me!
Annoyingly, there's no way to differentiate between those who are and aren't willing to speak to us, so we've just got to go on trial and error. Eventually, we find out from a dark elf called Nilphus Emelian that Phalian is staying at the Tiber Septim Hotel. With this information under our belts, we make our way directly to our favourite hotel in the Imperial City, the highly recommended and severely overrated Tiber Septim. As per our last visit, we are warmly welcomed by the receptionist.
Get back, you filthy beast!
While we're here, our adoring fan makes polite conversation with Gwynus, the wood elf whose book we pinched in the main quest.
How are you today? Been better.
We find Phalian upstairs, in bed with a lady. This feels a little seedy, I have to admit. We wake Phalian up to speak to him, and he is one hideous-looking bugger. Looks like he fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down.
What do you want? Sorry, can't talk. Now, I'm with my lady friend here. Talk to me later. Not here, not in the hotel.
Well, that was enlightening. He won't speak to us while he's with his lady friend, which is completely reasonable. As the old adage goes, never mix business and pleasure. Phalian heads back to bed, so we interrogate his lady friend instead. Outside the room, we use a little vampire's seduction on the good lady Atrena, and she spills the beans good and proper.
I feel I can trust you. I just don't know what to do about Phalian. All he thinks about, all he cares about is skooma.
According to Atrena, Phalian is a connoisseur of skooma.
But he's lost everything. His looks, his money, his self-respect.
A big connoisseur of skooma. That goes a long way to explain the broken speech and the 1,000-yard stare. You know what, the way he speaks, it sounds a little bit like our adoring fan. Let me just check something. I bloody knew it, you little bastard, you're back on the drugs again, aren't you? She also goes on to give a surprisingly detailed account of Phalian's activities and where he spends most of his time. If she didn't seem so concerned about him, I'd think she was the one who put the hit out on him.
And then he goes to Lorkmir's house for several hours.
Phalian spends most of his time at the friendly local skooma den over at Lorkmir's house. So, as we're trying to make this look like your run-of-the-mill murder, we head over there to lie in wait for our unsuspecting victim. Another locked door greets us, but this won't be a problem for us. Shit. That was our one and only lockpick. Alright, sod it, he dies in the hotel. You don't want to see this. Okay, apparently you do. We give Phalian the old one and done, and that's that. Oh, receptionist, there's a dead body in room 3 and we took a massive shit in the shower. Have a lovely day.
Filthy beast!
Back in Cheydinhall, we obviously miss out on the bonus, and we've managed to cock up Achiever's request not to annoy the captain of the City Watch.
Phalian has been killed, but you did not exercise discretion. How many witnesses were there?
But despite our incredible talent for cock-ups, we get a promotion.
Despite this recent lapse in professionalism, it's time you were advanced to the rank of Eliminator.
Welcome to Eliminator, a battle of wits where the winners get to go on amazing exotic holidays.
But the bonus is forfeit.
Next, we're off to the Western Mountains to take out a warlord called Roderick. Ooh, Warlord Wodwick. How utterly terrifying. Apparently the guy's already half dead. He's being kept alive with a special kind of medicine that we've got to replace with poison. And also we can't be seen or we lose the bonus. This is getting a little bit infuriating, really. For a bunch of murderers, we keep getting told not to kill anybody. What kind of contracts does the orc dude get? He's kitted out in full battle armor as well. I can't imagine they send him on the sneaky missions.
What do you mean nobody can see you? Where's the fun in that? Damn the bonus, I say. Just walk in there and stab him.
Gogren knows exactly what we're talking about. From here on, we're taking a leaf out of his book. Sod stealth, sod the bonus, we're a vampiric nutter with a sword, and we've got a job to do. At Fort Such, we immediately get detected. Well, I guess stealth was never going to be an option here. Swinging our sword around with not even an attempt to be sneaky, we meet very little resistance and make our way to Roderick's chamber. This isn't exactly a bedroom, it's too open plan. We drain what remains of Roderick's life force and end his suffering. However, we have suffered a greater loss. Our adoring fan has gone missing. He definitely came in with us, but we can't find him. We search all over the caves, but we can't find any sign of him. We wait for a few days in and outside the ruins, but he doesn't return to us. We even go back to the arena, and he isn't there. Looking back at the footage, we believe this is the last time we see him, being chased down the corridor by one of Roderick's nutcase henchmen. Sad times, lads. Press F to pay respects. And if you guessed right, there's a £5 note and a packet of Monster Munch on its way to you by carrier pigeon right now, so check your windows. Depressed at the loss of our little friend, we drag our sad ass back to Cheydinhall to report to Ochiva. Naturally, Ochiva is unhappy with the outcome of the contract. However, she does think we have a work ethic that's similar to Gogran's, which is ultimately the path we've chosen.
It would seem you and Gogran share a similar style.
But not for long, as our next contract is, without a doubt, our personal favourite in the entire Dark Brotherhood questline. Perhaps in the entirety of Oblivion.
Do you like parties? Because you've been invited to one.
The House Party, otherwise known as the obvious assassin was the one that done all the murders. We've been invited to attend a house party in the city of Skingrad. There we find a grand old house called Summit Mist Manor, and inside are 5 guests who believe they are performing a wonderful little scavenger hunt. They've been told that there is a chest full to the brim with gold hidden somewhere in the house, and, until somebody finds it, the doors will be locked. However, as the 6th guest, we know better. There is no chest of gold. They've all been marked as targets, and we're there to take them all out. And, if we manage to take them all out individually and in secret, we get a nice bonus from Ochiva.
Make sure that when you strike hard. Don't want anyone running for help, do you?
Ooh, I do love this quest. This is one we aren't going to bugger up. On our way out, we ask Vincente for advice, but he still hates our guts.
So it's to be 5 against 1, is it? The odds are against you. With any luck, you'll be dead within an hour.
Very nice. In Skingrad, we meet our long-lost half-brother Fafnir. Reminds us what we're here to do and gives us the only key to get back out of the house.
We have the same mother, you and I.
Oh, he means the Night Mother. No, it's fine. Not heartbroken about being a saggy-faced vampire with no family to speak of, it's fine.
I wonder what will happen to the Empire.
You don't want to know what happens to the Empire, my dicky old chum. In we go. Dear 1, in the big murder house. The newest contestant, Test, meets their other housemates for the first time. Despite being a vampire with a face like me granddad's ball bag, everybody is willing to talk to him. In a bizarre twist of fate, the adoring fan returns. Praise Todd Almighty. Test decides to nick all the cakes in the house, but nobody seems to mind. The greedy bugger. Day 2, in the big murder house. Matilda offers to split the gold with Test if she finds it first.
Why don't we form a kind of alliance?
Test agrees, and Matilda decides to go search under the floorboards in the basement.
Maybe the chest is hidden under the floorboards.
Despite the basement floor being solid flagstone, Test follows her down and gives her a good pasting. 1 down, 4 to go. Day 3, in the big murder house. Matilda's death has rattled the other contestants and suspicions are rising.
Did you hear? Someone has been murdered. One of us. One of the guests.
Nell suspects Neville as he hates the Imperial Legion.
I really have to wonder where Neville was when someone was getting slaughtered just a few rooms away.
Neville suspects Nels as he hates Nords.
Nords are raised to be cold-blooded killers. Don't take your eyes off Nels if you value your life.
Devacy also suspects Neville as she hates the Imperial Legion as well.
I hate the Legion and everything it stands for.
But she's glad Matilda is dead.
Good, I'm glad she's dead.
What a lovely group of people. Test suggests Devacy goes for a nap and manages to offer when she's not looking. Day 4, in the big murder house. Primo's nerves are shot.
Who among us is vile enough to take the life of such a beautiful, precious creature?
this guy!
And is starting to suspect Nels.
I'm not sure if I trust him.
Nels has gone off the rails and is hoarding the booze.
I plan to gather up every drop of drink in this house and keep it to myself.
He's probably having flashbacks to his daughter's death.
When I looked into Devisi's face, it was like peering at my own daughter. I feel like I've lost her all over again.
Nels thinks Neville is the killer.
I think Neville is the murderer.
Neville thinks Nels is the killer.
That mead-swilling barbarian killed those two people. I'm sure of it.
And gears up with his old Imperial Legion armour. And still, nobody suspects the heavily armoured vampire with the clingy fanboy. Dear 5, in the big murder house. After following Primo around for a good 5 minutes waiting for him to stand still, Test punches the rich little bastard up the arse, killing him. Nels is having an episode of PTSD and decides that Neville is the killer.
That sniveling Legion dog must die. Do you understand me? He's the murderer. He killed all those people.
Obviously.
He must pay for what he's done.
Nels takes things into his own hands and goes after Neville with his best One-Punch Man impression.
One by one.
You and I are the only ones left. But we did it. We survived.
While Nels is celebrating, he seems to have a brief moment of realization before Test punches his lights out in the basement. Hello! And Test is the winner.
It's not just about the winning. It's the taking part that counts. Bollocks!
We return to Ochiva with the fantastic news that we've completed a contract to her exact specifications, and she is pleased. Gives a kiss, you beautiful lizard. We get the bonus, and Ochiva bestows the Night Mother's blessing upon us, which gives us a bunch of skill increases. But there's no rest for the wicked. Our next contract is already waiting for us.
Do you recall the name Adamus Philida?
Ochiva wants us to take out Amadus Philia, who was the guy we were trying to avoid annoying back when we killed Phalion.
Now the Legion Pig's years of service have come to an end. He has retired.
Didn't take him long, and is now living in the Leowin barracks. Isn't exactly the Costa del Sol. I know I wouldn't want to spend my retirement living in a different branch of Greg's. Now that he's retired, it's time to stick the knife in, literally.
Adamus Philida has spent his entire career investigating the Dark Brotherhood, interrupting our contracts, killing our family members.
Ochiva gifts us the Rose of Sithis, a magical arrow that can kill in one hit. Using the arrow is optional, but to get the bonus, we then have to cut off one of Philida's fingers and place it in his successor's desk as a warning not to meddle in the Dark Brotherhood's business.
Yes, yes.
Now the biggest issue with the Rose of Sithis is that it only kills straight away on unarmoured targets, which is a bit of a bugger. The only time Philida is unarmoured is when he takes his bath in the local pond during the daytime, if memory serves us correctly. Also, we don't have a bow, which is another snag, so we'll probably just have to go in swinging. We asked Gogrun's advice and he's definitely on our level.
As long as you cut off his finger and leave it in that desk, you'll get your bonus. Sounds to me like you can kill the old sod any way you'd like.
But we might as well try using the arrow. It'd make things a lot simpler and quicker.
What madness has stricken the Black Hand that they would trust such an important task to someone so very useless?
We head over to Leowin, the second to last town on Cyrodiil's Turd Towns list, and we need to find a bow. We sneak a peek in the Imperial barracks to see what our target looks like, and we find him wandering round the place in his scouts. I guess retirement has its perks. This would be a great opportunity to take him out for good, were it not for the heavily armoured guards politely asking us to leave. We try the Leowin branches of the Mages Guild and the Fighters Guild, but we have no luck there either. Guess we just have to buy a bow. We wait until 7 PM so we don't get sunburn and head into the local blacksmith's shop, where the Argonian shopkeeper refuses to serve us due to, well, at this point, you know why.
Filthy beast.
Right, fuck you then. Stealing stuff in Oblivion isn't as easy as it is in other games that use Bethesda's creation engine. We can't just pick up what we want to steal, carry it into the bathroom of the Silver Rush, and bankrupt the Van Graff twins from the inside. In Oblivion, you just have to pick up an item with the stealing symbol on it, and they call the guards on you. So, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. We jump up onto the counter, boot everything off, and then neatly dribble the steel bow out of the shopkeeper's eyeline. Nice and easy. We make our way back towards the barracks when conveniently, we find Philida having his bath in the middle of the night. Look, there he is, just standing at the top of the steps in his shreddies. You couldn't ask for a better stroke of luck. We get our adoring fan to wait round the corner, as him seeing us might give us a bounty. You know how these games work. They don't. We equip the bow, aim the rose of Sithis at Philida, and let it fly. And it missed. We couldn't hit the broad side of a barn, I swear to God. We'll just have that back. Cheers, mate. The second shot goes far smoother, hitting Philida just below the knee.
I used to be an adventurer like you.
Below the knee, not in the knee. Stop it. We nick his finger as well as all the keys he had on him and hightail it over to the Imperial City. We catch a bit of sun, hide indoors until nighttime, and then break into the Imperial Legion offices, which we have the key for. Unfortunately, Philida's successor is working late tonight and sees us. We resist arrest and our adoring fan flees. We sacrifice 7 lockpicks to the bloody average lock on the desk, dump Philida's finger into the drawer, and then leg it. We can't fast travel as the guards are still chasing us, so we make a break for it around the walls of the Imperial City, where we run into Shady Sam, local skooma dealer and man of mixed morals.
You need something special? Blasted thief. I hope they string him up when they catch him.
A skooma dealer who hates the grey fox.
I might be a drug dealer, but at least I'm not a thief.
Yeah, alright mate. We buy a bottle of skooma and some extra lockpicks from him. Seeing as we'll be joining the Thieves Guild at some point, we might as well give him the business. Our adoring fan catches up with Cheydinhal, and Achiever is well pleased with our performance. And the bonus we received will pay off our current bounty. And now for our next contract.
Ah, Assassin, I must speak with you. It is quite urgent. A sealed letter just arrived from a Dark Brotherhood courier.
These instructions are specifically from Lucien Lachance. Oh dear, I've got a bad feeling about this. Lucien's invited us to his house. Oh ho ho. I wonder where a high-ranking member of a mysterious and secretive organisation such as the Dark Brotherhood lives. Turns out it's close to Cheydinhal, just off the road. I can't tell if this is hiding in plain sight or terrible foresight in house ownership. Traditionally, you're meant to go in through the front door and fight all of Lucien's fanatical followers in order to get to him. A bit like a Pokemon gym, but far more violent. However, we cannot be buggered to do that, so we make our way over to this very conveniently placed hollow tree and use the trapdoor to get straight to Lucien's inner sanctum. Lucien greets us as warmly as a psychotic assassin can, and tells us how well we've done so far.
We have not spoken in some time, but I am well aware of your accomplishments within the Dark Brotherhood.
I can only imagine he's not been reading our performance reports from the Cheydinhal branch, or he really just doesn't care.
Contemplate your uselessness as a member of this family.
Lucien has a vitally important task for us. There is a mole in the Dark Brotherhood.
The Black Hand has learned that the Dark Brotherhood has been infiltrated.
One of our fellow assassins in the Cheydinhal sanctum is a traitor. He asks us to ensure the Cheydinhal branch is dissolved, and that all the members are to be made redundant through a most severe process called purification.
You have been chosen to perform the ancient rite known as purification.
Purification? Cleansing, purging. Purge them all for the God Emperor.
Take these special gifts. They will help you greatly.
Lucien gives us a poisoned apple. 1 poisoned apple, I might add, for a sanctum of 7 people. That'll be effective. Lucien gives us a scroll that will summon the ghost of Rufio to fight alongside us.
Call upon Rufio's angry ghost for assistance.
You remember Rufio, don't you? The creep we killed back at the Inn of Ill Omen. Apparently he was quite the pugilist back in the day, but we'll be the judge of that. Before we leave to purge the Cheydinhal sanctum, we'll nick Lucien's remaining poisoned apples from this barrel. Serves the bugger right, only giving us 1. Bloody cheapskate. Back in Cheydinhal, we say our final goodbyes to our adoptive family. This part really tugs on the heartstrings whenever we play through it, though it is a little sus that the Khajiit arsehole is being incredibly apologetic about being a dick to us up until now.
I guess I just want to say I'm sorry for the way I've treated you in the past.
A little too convenient for my liking, seeing as we're about to whack everybody.
You and I are going to be great friends.
There are 2 ways we can go about this tragic endeavour. The first is the sneaky way, and we have a simple 6-step plan. Step 1. We take all our heavy armor and items off and place them securely in a barrel. Secondly, we steal every last scrap of food and drink in the sanctuary. Step 3. Accidentally eat one of the poisoned apples in our inventory and unalive ourselves. Step 4. Repeat steps 1 and 2 again while avoiding step 3ing ourselves. 5th, we strategically place poisoned apples around the sanctuary. And finally, step 6. We play the waiting game. And it's a long old game. Mirage, the Khajiit arsehole, is the first to go. Realizing his mistake, he tries to heal himself, but to no avail. Ochiva is the next to go. We find she's copped it off screen. She's got a copy of the Lost Yargonian made on her, the dirty cow. We'll have that. Gogran dies third. And we nick his stuff. Don't give us that look, he'd want us to have his gear. Antoinetta Marie is the next.
Whoa!
Followed closely by Tainava and Telandril.
Seeing you again is like a blessing from the Night Mother.
Vincente, however, chooses to be an awkward bugger. As he is a vampire like us, Vincente isn't a big fan of the whole eating thing. We wait for 4 in-game days to pass, watching to see if he succumbs to the lure of the poisoned apples. But Vincente sticks to his guns and doesn't eat. So we just do the job ourselves with the help of Rufio's ghost, which proves to be utterly useless. So we finish the deed ourselves. Ha! And with that, the Chaden Hall Sanctuary has been purified.
They're all dead. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Dave. He's dead, Dave. Everybody is dead. Everybody is dead, Dave.
The second way requires a slightly less refined hand.
Commence exterminatus. Leave none alive. The Emperor protects.
Once the deed is done, we return to Lucian. He congratulates us on our fine work and promotes us to his personal silencer.
And the time has come to acknowledge and reward your unwavering loyalty.
He also gifts us Shadowmere, one of the best horses in the game, and as if the promotion and the free horse weren't enough, Lucian tells us he loves us.
I present her now to you, as a token of my trust and love.
So we'll just make that Facebook official.
The Black Hand is the Dark Brotherhood's ruling council. That hand consists of 4 speakers and 1 listener. As every hand has fingers, does not every finger have a nail? These are the silencers. Each speaker employs his or her own private assassin.
Well, if we're the nail on the finger, that must mean our adoring fan is the nail polish, because he makes us look good. From here on out, all of our tasks will come from dead drops hidden around Cyrodiil. No more face-to-face contact. We're on our own. Our first dead drop is inside a hollow rock on Hero Hill. Our target is a man called Kaeldin, a necromancer who is trying to turn himself into a lich. Not your usual Dark Brotherhood target, I'll give you that, but cash is cash and we like money. The problem with fast travelling everywhere is that we end up with hardly any location markers, so venturing off the beaten path is a little bit arduous. From Breville, we've got to cross this massive lake, on horseback. The going is slow, not much fun, and we've apparently got a shark following us.
By Azura, by Azura, by Azura! It's the Grand Champion! I can't believe it's you standing here next to me.
Oh Christ, it's not a shark, it's far worse. As our adoring fan swims behind us, he keeps diving down to the bottom of the lake. Bloody odd bugger. We come ashore at Fort Grief, only to find that Fort Grief is on a small island. Back into the water again then. As the dawn is approaching, we hide in this chapel and deal with a couple of necromancers taking refuge inside. Ooh, a shrine! Might as well get a blessing. Oh, we can't get a blessing because we've got 50 bounty. When did we get 50 bounty? And besides, we just clear those bloody corpse botherers out of here and we still don't get a blessing. That's gratitude for you. After another cross-country slog, we reach Leafrot Cave, Kaeldin's hideout. Conveniently for us, Kaeldin has left his journal out for us to read, and in amongst the terrible drawings, angsty poems and paragraphs about how he'll never get a girlfriend, he's left us the clue to defeat him. Upon his person is an hourglass called the Sands of Resolve. and it's this trinket that's slowly turning him into a lich. If we pickpocket the hourglass from him, he'll die. Sounds simple, but we've got an easier method.
Purge the witchkins.
Oh god, sorry. Still got a bit of that righteous fury coursing through my veins. While we're assaulted by zombies and skeletons, we find Kaeldin, or rather, don't find him as he's turned invisible. Luckily, we can locate the bugger on the compass. You might be invisible to the eye, matey boy, but the heads-up display's ratting you out. It doesn't take much to bump him off, and that's the end of the Necromancer. We whip over to Coral to find our next dead drop, but the harsh light of day finds us first, so we take sanctuary in the Fighters Guild.
Looking for action? Think about the Fighters Guild.
No! We're doing the Dark Brotherhood first, you'll have to wait your turn. Night falls and we find this tiny bag in the shrubs beneath the great oak. Yep, that's completely hidden. The most inconspicuous dead drop I've seen in all my life. Inside the bag is 500 gold, and our next mission. We have to find and kill all 6 members of the Draconis family. Is it 4 or 5? 5 or 6? We have to find and kill all members of the Draconis family, starting with the matriarch of the family who resides at Applewatch Farm, just outside of Bruma. This feels more like a mafia hit than an assassination, to be honest. Ah, Applewatch Farm. Take a good look, peeps. We'll be back here later on for far less enjoyable reasons. Inside the farmhouse, we are greeted by Jake the dog, and we find Perennia Draconis sleeping. We wake her up, and she confuses us for the local Amazon delivery guy.
Excuse an old woman's stupidity. You're here to pick up my gift list. Using your gift service was the smartest thing I've ever done.
Yes, gifts. We're a delivery man, hello.
So here's the list of all my precious little ones.
We take the list detailing all of her children and their exact locations and professions, aren't we lucky there's no Data Protection Act in Cyrodiil, before putting Perennia and her dog down for good. I do feel a bit guilty about killing the dog. Back once again to the Imperial City, where we break into the wrong house and are asked to leave.
For the love of Azura, can't a man have a bit of privacy? Get out of here!
It's time to play Family Wipeout. Contestant number 1 is Matthias Draconis. Matt works as a guard for Lord Umbacano. He's a no-nonsense sort of guy who enjoys a good fight, long walks on the beach, and is incredibly allergic to swords.
I hope you know what you're...
Beyblade sword. Oh dear, the law have arrived. Only 90 gold? Bargain! Hold on, is that the guy from downstairs? Did he dob us in? Grass, have some of this.
Oh, this is gonna be good!
Stop right there, criminal scum!
Oh crap, the baby-faced guard has caught us. Only 40 gold? Bargain! The City Watch must have a special deal on murder today. Contestant number 2 is Kaelia Draconis. She's a rough and tumble kind of girl, and as a member of the Leowyn City Guard, she isn't afraid to knock heads around. And just look at that chin. With that kind of jawline, you don't even need a sword.
Guards, I need assistance. This person is resisting arrest.
Unfortunately for Kaelia, she must not have many friends in Leowyn, as a member of the Fighters Guild comes to our aid when we initiate combat with her. The Fighters Guild must be really desperate for us to join them.
Don't be shy. Join us.
Contestant number 3 is Andreas Draconis, who runs the Drunken Dragon Inn, a beautiful little tavern in a wonderfully idyllic location with a very cute sign. The inn is also a favourite haunt of local guards. That might be an issue for us. Andreas is a fine bartender, so dedicated is he that he sleeps where he works. Andreas also keeps a very fine selection of real ales, and really doesn't like it when we insult his dead mother.
My mother? No! What have you done to her? I'll kill you! Ah!
Oh, Mr. Lawman, I am being assaulted. Luckily for us, the guard sees Andreas trying to bar us from life and deals with him, saving us the effort.
I've seen your kind before. You've got blood on your hands. Keep your blade sheathed, you murdering bastard.
Come on, back to bed, mate. Sleep it off. And finally, contestant number 4, Sibylla Draconis. Sibylla lives in Muck Valley Cavern, which is a deceptively picturesque locale considering the name. Sibylla lives in a cave, she loves her pet rats and being left alone, but she absolutely hates sunlight, people, and takes an immediate and severe dislike to our adoring fan.
Hey! What'd I ever do to you?
Press F in the chat, lads. Now we have to hold our own torch. That's just bloody inconsiderate of him. Now that's the Draconis family well and truly ended, we hightail it over to Skingrad for our payment and our next dead drop. Oh Christ, the bloom here is absolutely horrendous. Our target is a Khajiit called Jagaster, who's an expert at punching people. Over to Bruma, we search Jagaster's house, but we can't find him. Luckily, the in-game map rats him out. Oh look, there's a Dark Brotherhood book in here. That's rather suspicious. We swiftly put Kitty down and hide from the sun in the pub with the shouty landlord again.
Hello!
Yeah. Hello! On our way to the Imperial City for our next assignment, we pass the day at the Inn of Ill-Omen with Mannheim, who's still without his keks. Shaliz is our next mark, an Argonian. He lives in a flooded mine and is a wanted psychopath. Of course he is, he lives in a flooded mine. On our way there, our adoring fan returns from the dead. Oh, thank God. Normality is restored. It genuinely doesn't feel the same without having him around. We enter the flooded mine, ready for a fight, when the strings of fate tighten around our adoring fan's neck. Mere moments after getting him back, he is taken from us once again. This is actually heartbreaking. We kill Shaliz with ease, though with the loss of our fan yet again, our victory feels rather hollow. And then we almost drown on our way out. Fantastic. Right, next one. Target Alval Uvani, a travelling merchant who's an expert in destruction magic and has a severe and rather confusing allergy to mead. Mead is the drink of the gods. We chase Ulvani down the road. Oh no, hold on, he's gone into Breville. We chase Ulvani into Breville. Oh, look at this statue, the lucky old lady. A benevolent spirit, I'm sure. Nothing sinister here. We catch up with Ulvani at an inn, and he really is a charming individual.
I have no time for your pathetic attempts at small talk. Now, walk away before I get nasty.
What a lovely bloke. And we can't even buy mead here as the barman won't serve vampires. In fact, it seems as everybody in this pub is an arsehole. None of them will talk to us. The bastards. We steal a bottle of mead from the Mages Guild and place it on Uvani's table, but he doesn't go for it. We try to slip it onto his person, but as we're a terrible pickpocket, we just can't. We wait for Uvani to leave the city, leaving it a little too long, as by the time we're ready to get after him, he's miles away. We chase him through the night, and although he's quick, we catch him just before the break of day and do him in. Another day spent at the Inn of Ill-Omen, and we take our next dead drop, going after a Nord called Havelstein Hoarblood. Hoar as in the frost, not the other kind. Our adoring fan returns once again. He's probably been off annoying somebody in deep space this time. We find Havelstein on Gnoll Mountain, which is within sight of Frost Crag Spire, our house we meant to use but never came back to. Oh well. One quick brawl and Havelstein and his dog are iced. Get it? Iced? Iced? Oh, please yourselves. For some reason, our next dead drop is in a locked chest, underwater, inside an alien ruin. Somebody wants to make this difficult. We get our adoring fan to wait this time. We're not having a repeat of what happened earlier. Off to Breville then, to kill a wood elf called Ungolim. Oh, that's an odd name. He visits the statue of the lucky old lady every night between 6 PM and 1 AM, which, again, is perfect as we're a vampire. In Breville, we head out into the darkened streets, and we see Ungolim approaching the statue. However, he sees us approaching him, and he starts to fire off arrows at us. Luckily, either we're too quick for him or he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, because these arrows are just going wide. A prolonged firefight begins, with Ungolim loosing arrows at us, and us returning our incredibly weak fireball spell at him. Finally, Ungolim's eyes straighten up and he actually starts landing some shots, so we go in with the sword. He's tough for a short ass, but we eventually get the better of him. As Ungolim ragdolls to the ground, Lucien Lechance suddenly appears before us, accusing us of betraying the Dark Brotherhood.
What madness has claimed you?
You have betrayed me.
Hang on a minute, Sunshine. We've been following these dead drops to the letter. There's a Dark Brotherhood book in here. That's rather suspicious.
Say this. What is this treachery? Who sent you?
He lives in a flooded mine and is a wanted psychopath. Of course he is. He lives in a flooded mine. Oh, these weren't the real dead drops, were they? Lucien can see we're completely in the dark about all this, and so he gives us the exposition. After we finished off the Draconis family, somebody started tampering with the dead drop information. We've been giving the upper echelons of the Dark Brotherhood an early retirement, if you will. We've been physically restructuring the organization. Essentially, we've been killing off the management team. Whoops, who saw that one coming? The Dark Brotherhood's board of directors think that Lucien is the real traitor.
The surviving members of the Black Hand know that you're innocent. They know that you are only following orders.
Lucian gives us the task of tracking down the real traitor to clear his name while he hides out at Applewatch Farm.
Go now to your next dead drop, lie in wait, and confront whomever drops off the false contract.
We speed off to Anvil to find this traitorous whoreson. He should turn up any second now and place the information in this barrel behind the mermaid statue. While we pose in front of the statue for the yearly calendar shots, he turns up and we confront him.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do anything wrong. It was the robed man. He paid me to put those things in the barrel.
It turns out this poor sod is just a paid patsy. Apparently the real traitor lives in the basement of a lighthouse just outside of Anvil.
Just leave me alone, all right? I don't want no trouble.
We let the poor bugger leave with his life. Were you expecting a different outcome? He helped us out and he was willing to speak to a vampire. We're not going to hurt him. What do you take us for? We're an assassin, not a murderer. We have standards. Low standards, granted, but standards nonetheless. At the lighthouse, we threatened Portland Bill for the key to the basement.
Oh, well, in that case, here you go.
And while our adoring fan speaks to him, we get one hell of a hint to the plot of Skyrim.
There are foul tidings from Skyrim. The Greybeards speak of the end of all times.
Todd, you clever bastard. We head down into the cellar and, oh, that is a lot of corpses down here. Dogs, sheep, a lady. The adoring fan is visibly upset by this. Can't imagine why after all the stuff he's seen the last few days. We unlock the door, get attacked by a wolf, and we find a very disturbing sight. A chair, a book, and Mother's head. Christ on a bike, I know who the culprit is, it's Norman Bates. The journal is full of insane ramblings, so I'll give you a brief summary of it. The real traitor is trying to destroy the Dark Brotherhood from within by framing Lucien Lechance as a traitor. Many years ago, the traitor's father paid the Dark Brotherhood to kill his mother. That's her head on the table there. Lucien was the assassin who carried out the contract. The traitor wants to kill Lucien and destroy the Night Mother as well, in retaliation for the loss of his own mother. Are we all on board with that? Good. We take Mother's head with us. Apparently she's got quite a big head as we're now over-encumbered. We go to Applewatch Farm to help Lucien clear his name. However, we have arrived too late. The other members of the Black Hand have arrived here first and have already dealt with him. An utterly heartbreaking sight. You can hardly recognise him. It looks like they've cut off his bits as well, which is just wholly uncalled for. We meet our new co-workers, Arken, Banasalor, Belisarius Arius, and Matthew Bellamont. I'll say it now, one of these buggers is the real traitor. Let's see if they react to us bringing their mother's head along for the ride. Is this your mother? Is this your mother? What about you? Are you surprised to see Mumsy here? And you, I know what you are, you. You might remember that we've been picking up a few valuables along our travels, like these silver bowls we nicked from Bainland. Well, here's why. To commemorate Lucien's passing, we've built a little shrine. Don't look at us like that, it's something our editor has done since she was a child. Nightshade, pearls, brandy, an emerald, food, and a single poisoned apple he gave us, to ease his passing into the void and commemorate the time he spent on Nern. Rest in peace, Lucien, until you get revived as an incredibly aggravating ghost in Skyrim. Now we're going to see the boss, the big dog, the founder, owner, and CEO of the Dark Brotherhood, the Night Mother. Under cover of night, we travel with the other speakers to Breville and stand at the foot of the statue of the lucky old lady. Told you this place was important. Arken says the magic words and...
Reveal yourself now, most magnificent Night Mother, so that we may seek your guidance.
Oh, I can't stand living statues, they creep me out. Down in the sanctum, the Night Mother manifests as a ghost and gives the remaining speakers a proper bollocking.
Foolish little girl. Lucien Lechance served Sithis till his dying breath. The Black Hand remains tainted by betrayal. Restoration is impossible.
Enough. Enough of this. You will all suffer for the pain you have caused me.
It is at this point that Matthew Bellamont goes nanas and reveals himself to be the real betrayer of the Dark Brotherhood, killing Unus Arnus and Belisarius Arius. They had plenty of time to do something before he killed them. This lot are absolutely bloody useless. Absolutely bloody useless. We take our sword to Bellamont and finish him once and for all, avenging not only Lucien, but our brothers and sisters from the Cheydinhall Sanctuary as well. The Night Mother then addresses us. She promotes us to the rank of listener and tells us,
I knew of his thirst for vengeance. I could have informed my listener, but I refused.
Hold on, you knew all of this was going to happen and you actively decided not to do anything about it? Genuinely not sure how I feel about that. She lets us raid her tomb and we get a few interesting bits and bobs before the Night Mother tasks us with rebuilding the Cheydinhall Sanctuary with our Ken at our side. She also upgrades our Blade of Woe, which was the first thing Lucian gave us. Sorry, I need a moment. We leave the Night Mother's sanctum and return to the Cheydinhall Sanctuary. We speak to our Ken and find out we can do one mission once per week, where we go to the Night Mother's statue for a list of names, returning them to our Ken for a cash payment. Oh, that's fun. Well, that's pretty much it. Well, all in all, the end was a little bit underwhelming. To be completely honest, we both think the end of the Dark Brotherhood questline in Skyrim has a more satisfying conclusion, and let's face it, we didn't really have too many issues playing through it as a vampire. But sometimes, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. The people you meet, the places you see, the things you experience on the great path of life. And, oh god, I think we'd have poisoned apples all over the Cheydinhall Sanctuary. Oh shit! Hello again. If you managed to make it this far, thank you so much for watching. We've hit 4,000 and then 5,000 subscribers while we've been making this video, and I know we've said it several times before, we never thought we'd hit that when we started out a couple of years ago. As always, a massive thank you to all of you who watch our videos and all of your comments. Again, sorry it takes us so long to produce these videos. We both work full-time jobs and this year has been a bit of a nightmare for the both of us. We hope this video has been worth the wait. We've got a video in the works for this Christmas, so we hope you look forward to seeing that in summer 2025. We'll catch you next time, if you got time.